Hi there, it's Sherryl Lin. And I was reading the other day, I don't know about you, but I've been trying not to watch the news so much and tune into all of the catastrophizing that I can't say that word, that the media does because it puts me in this focus of what's wrong instead of enjoying my life. But every once in a while, I'll run across an article or someone will share something with me. And this particular day, it was a couple days ago, I ran across this article about toxins in the environment and how they're affecting our immune system. And for most of us, we know that this is a truth, and we're aware or not of how it's affecting us. But I started to tune into all of the changes that have happened in the environment. And it's real. I'm not just talking about environmental factors that have to do with air pollution and water pollution and how we're destroying the rainforest and things like that. I'm not just talking about that. I'm also talking about ways that our consciousness has disconnected from something more grounded and real. And we're bombarded with all of these options of things that we can do to improve ourselves and to change who we are and to try and be happy all the time. I've talked about that before, where our society is like, oh, you're not happy, here's a pill, here's some food, here's some alcohol, here's something to make you feel better. And the truth is that there are a lot of things that our ancestors didn't have to cope with. Now, of course, on the flip side, there's also things that we don't have to worry about. For many of us, and especially if you're watching this, you're watching on a computer, most likely, or some sort of an electronic device. And so you're more fortunate than many people in the world to have technology. But the disconnection and the stress of everything that we have to deal with in our lives can really take a toll on the body. So, as I was tuning in about this, it was actually during a client session, I got a technique that I've been using ever since I got it for this particular client. And I just wanted to share it with you because I think it'll be really helpful. And hopefully you'll agree. So I'll use the example of this client that I was working with who was being exposed to had been exposed to some chemicals and now was doing a detox. And as I tuned in to this person's body, I could see that some of the detox was having a side effect of some of the toxins were getting absorbed into some of the organs and the tissue, and it wasn't actually releasing from the body. So what my guides showed me was just to visualize encapsulating them. And they had a whole technique around this, which I'm not going to go into. But the idea of encapsulating whatever is toxic and you can imagine it however you want. Imagine that you're surrounding it with love, or you're surrounding it with sunlight, something that makes you feel joyful. So for instance, if you had a meeting and the person that you're meeting with, you knew was just really negative and you had a hard time in the past because you'd be really affected by their energy. So when you go into this meeting, you can imagine that their energy, however you visualize their energy, that you're just surrounding their energy, whatever you might come in contact, that you're surrounding it with this light or love, or if there's a particular color that you resonate with, then surround it with that. And so that no matter what happens, whatever's coming out of their mouth, whatever is happening during that meeting, that when it comes in contact with you, it just can pass through and not actually be absorbed into you. And this may seem like a game, and you can see it kind of like, oh, I'll play this little encapsulation game. but you're actually energetically shifting the energy, not to protect yourself, because I know a lot of people in situations like that, oh, I have to protect against that dark energy, and sometimes I will do that if I really feel like I'm in a very toxic environment, but the problem with that is then you're not also allowing the energy to flow, and you're cementing the idea in your own mind that there's something to protect yourself against. So I'm a little, I differ in opinion about the whole idea of protecting yourself, because the reality is things can't really destroy you in the way that we think that they can. And that, our consciousness is way more powerful than anything that can come at us. But sometimes these little tools will assist. So let's do something right now. Let's imagine that you're conscious of the air in the atmosphere right at this moment, wherever you are, whether you're in a pristine environment, watching this on your phone, and there's trees around and you can feel the oxygen that the trees are giving off, or whether you're in your home or a more toxic environment like an airport or something watching this. But wherever you are, just imagine right now with me, just imagine all of the air particles, all the particles that are in the air. And when you look at these particles, you see that there's lots of different things in the air. There are natural things in the air. There are chemicals in the air. There are little particles they've been showing that there's little particles of dust that contain plastics that we put into the air, all sorts of things. So not to freak yourself out, but just see the vast array of all the different things in the air right now. And now just ask for whatever's in the highest for you, anything that's in the air that would irritate your lungs, that would irritate your nasal passages, that would cause you to have anything but the purest feeling of ease in your breathing. Just to ask that all of those particles that would affect you negatively, to see those lighting up right now. And then just imagine surrounding those with this beautiful light. I'm using light as an example because that's how I'm seeing it. So now see, as you're breathing in the air, that anything that would normally have been irritating to you, could even be if you suffer from, more obvious allergies, it could even be the pollen in the air that you're seeing this light around, this beautiful golden light. And then as you're breathing in and out with all the particles that are good for you, that good oxygen that you want, and all the particles that are neutral, that won't really affect you, but they're going to breathe in and breathe out again. And then all of those encapsulated particles, just see them now having zero effect on you. Zero effect, because they're encapsulated and they can just pass right through. They're not absorbed into your lungs. They're not absorbed into your bloodstream. Feels good, right? It feels good. It's like, then what it does also is it just removes that fear. I don't know if you've ever been someplace where I used to live in Phoenix, and there were times where I'd drive to the outskirts of the city and then I could see how the air was brown on some days. And I thought, oh my God, I'm breathing that in, all that dust, all of those toxins. And it would make me clench up and feel, like I was not going to be nourished from the air. And this technique is just one way that you can use it, but this technique will just really help you relax about and understand that your body is capable of handling way more than you think. And that even in a toxic environment, whether it's the environment, the natural world around you, or it's being around toxic people or toxic energies or being bombarded by loud noises that are irritating. Anything. You can use this technique for anything. So I'd love to hear how this goes for you. If you enjoyed this technique and if you use it, please either send me a message, a private message through Facebook, or you can make a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear how it goes for you using this technique. Okay, bye now.